Welcome to the August 6th episode of Dan Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. As you probably gathered from the name, discussing the latest Marvel happenings across all media is what we do, but we've also been known to stray off topic from time to time. Basically, if it's superpower, it's fair game. My name is Dennis, and I swear I do have room in my heart for DC. You'll see. With me, I've got a distinguished nerd panel as usual. First up, we're going to welcome him back from his nice vacation. It's Frank.
Yo, I got the Delta strain, everyone. So if anyone needs it, it's all for you. I got it ready.
You don't really have that, do you?
No.
Well, actually, you wouldn't know for another week, right?
Today is actually the sweet spot day that I could get tested and see if I have the Delta strain. So
nice. Well, let's do fingers crossed, and let's hope that you didn't do that.
Fingers crossed.
But you feel relaxed, rested?
Fuck no, not after a vacation. I'm sorry, F no, not after a vacation. After a vacation, I feel way more tense than when I left. I did eat a lot of food, and I probably gained a lot of weight from that vacation.
I guess that's a plus then.
I'm
not sure. How are you more stressed out now after the vacation?
I don't know how it is. Well, actually, the flight home was crazy because they canceled my flight and changed my flight like 4 or 5 times. And they sent me from Miami to Fort Lauderdale to Dallas to.
That's a lot of bad places that you.
There's
went
a
to.
lot of bad places there, and
that's a lot of COVID hotspots.
Hey man, you're supposed to let me introduce you.
There's Ricky. Hey, audience. There's Ricky. There's
I had to chime in on Frank's traveling misadventures.
So Ricky's here. So I guess let's just get rid of all the ceremony. Hey, we also got Clarke here too. Let's go.
There's Clarke. Audience, I want you to meet Clarke. Clarke.
Hello. Get vaccinated and spayed and neuter your pets.
I'll take a Delta strain if I get a week off, right? That's how it works.
Dude, I'd love to get spayed and neutered. That'd be great.
I don't think that's how that works.
They can do that for you.
That'll stop me from howling at night, I think.
Yes.
You know what? I didn't even have fun introductions written for you guys anyway, so save me the trouble. Freaking impatient Ricky couldn't just wait. Couldn't wait his turn.
I mean, it's partially a Mac issue, but technical difficulties aside, we're back.
We're back.
Cool. Well, as you guys know, we did do our first official non-Marvel discussion last week with Masters of the Universe, and we're gonna follow that up with another one tonight. For anybody watching, yes, we are going to talk about the Suicide Squad today, which came out technically yesterday on HBOMAX and in theaters, but it's out there. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's really cool. We will be talking about that tonight, but we promise, since the timing is so the window you've had to watch it before you can join us is so small. We promise to let you know when we're going to start doing the spoiler talk. But before we get to that, we do have a fun show planned. We're dying to talk about that show, but we've got news and rumors to discuss also, and then a brief chat on a nerd topic of Frank's choosing this week. As a reminder, this is also a chance for you to pick our brains with any Marvelous, or in this case, DC trivia points of confusion that you may have, and we'll be checking the comments throughout the show. And for those of you that can't get enough of us, you can visit patreon.com/denxmedia immediately after this broadcast ends for our live post show, The Soapbox, where we wind down and talk about stuff we didn't get around to in the first 1.5 hours. We're pretty tired because we did stay up pretty late to watch Suicide Squad. So no promises that the Soapbox is going to be a super long one tonight. But we'll jump in there just for a bit, just to say hi to anybody. And talk about whatever we forget to. Okay, I just wanted to get that out of the way really quick so that we can just chat and say hi to everybody. Clarke, thank you for coming back again, and thank you for staying up late with us to watch Suicide Squad. That was quite the marathon.
That was fun.
Did. Yeah, it was fun. It was. I don't do the watch parties much. I think the last one I did was the Snyder Cut with Frank and Ricky.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that was
That was
all
like-
day event.
That was more like a
Yeah.
marathon, but this
Yeah.
was definitely a lot more
That was-
fun, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, this was
Invite me
more
back
fun
for the
sure.
less than 4-hour versions, but yeah.
Yeah,
Who knew? If you watch a good movie, it's more fun.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
weird.
mean, if you're gonna compare the two, then yes, I would say we're giving that our audiences a sneak peek, but we liked that movie more than the Snyder Cut. Just putting that out there.
That's our hot take of the show.
That's the hot take for sure. Yeah. But anything of interest going on in the nerd news or outside of nerd news that you guys wanted to share?
I thought
Oh, I gotta check the
that's what the news was for. That's what.
Oh, I meant
I want Frank news.
I meant in your lives. Frank doesn't get to go. He already told us about his lives.
Oh man, I got Delta strain. I just got it checked out right now.
You can't use the joke again.
Right? Okay. I got the Gamma strain.
Okay, that's fair. Clarke,
Still
anything of
COVID
interest?
free.
I saw so many iguanas out there. It was insane. We said that if we saw an alligator, we'd make Fridge go fight it. But
You got to jump over it.
I wanted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind jumping over it or like jumping on it because their mouths open up and it makes like a little springboard that launches you upward. If video games have taught me anything, it's that.
Well, actually, their muscles are much stronger in going down. It's actually they're very weak in openings. You can hold it down if you get on it.
Okay.
You know, that's Crocodile Hunter taught me that.
That's why we brought Clarke on the show. He's our animal expert.
Yep.
There were so many
Clarke's
lizards,
also-
dude. They were like.
That's why they do like when they do the photos of the baby and you see they duct tape them.
Yeah.
The mouse is because like tape will hold their mouth shut.
Just plain old tape. Full grown alligator. Wow.
Uh-oh, there's an alligator in Ricky's house right now.
Yeah, there's a variant.
Hey, and just so everybody watching knows, because we're always really bad at letting you know what we're going to talk about next week. But I just wanted to put this one out there. What if starts next week, guys?
Really?
Starting Tuesday. So we made it. We made it through the little drought of no Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
we did
it.
It
was a tough go.
10 episodes.
Is it 10?
Oh,
Wow.
that's nice.
10
Are
episodes.
they a half an hour or?
I don't
they
have the
didn't
run
say,
time.
yeah.
From what
I don't know the
I don't
runtime.
know who said it was, but about half-hour episodes.
That would make sense,
it's-
especially
I'm
since
okay
they're
with it.
animated. Oh yeah.
I'm excited for it. We're trying to get some guests that we haven't had on the show, but also get some that we had before. But the cool thing is like that show is going to not require like knowledge of previous stuff necessarily. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
going to do its own thing. They're going to be self-contained stories in theory, so that should be fun.
I just know I'm gonna cry during Chadwick Boseman's episode.
Well, guess what? I know when that one is.
Oh,
They've already actually
they already
leaked
put him out there. Yeah.
some of the schedule so far. Some,
He's
not
mentioned
all.
he's in 4 of them, actually, right? He has
Oh.
4
I don't
voices.
know.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you spoiled that. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
all
all
right.
right.
Regardless, Clarke, Disney announced a new annual pass program like 2 days ago. What's your take as our also
my
Disneyland
friend,
expert?
You have peeled back a touchy subject there. Honestly, for me, I look at how their prices have gone up trending over the years, like with the entrance of Star Wars Land and things. And this is about how much the prices would have been if there wasn't COVID. It's really not that different. The only thing that's different is they've added the reservation system, which they had something called Flex Pass before. And the real question is, in Flex Pass, during the off season, so not summer, not Christmas, you could actually do a reservation that day if they weren't at capacity. I don't know if these new
like
reservation
the
systems,
same day.
Yeah, the same day. Because that's the thing. Sometimes if you have an annual pass, sometimes it's that urge of going, hey, I want to go to Disneyland today, and just jumping in your car and going. That level of for the people that are the regular annual pass holders and that go multiple times. I mean, when I had my full pass, I went like 20 times in a year. And so a lot of them were for half days because I happened to be in the area. And I'm like, well, I don't want to get in traffic. Let me go to Disneyland. And so now, and the other thing that deals with is parking. So the $1,400 pass is the only one that includes parking. So that's the highest.
Wow. Get you.
Yes, raise those eyebrows.
Yeah.
So
At the
Wow.
second tier, you get half off parking. The second highest tier, sorry.
yes, which is 1,000. So the highest tier used to be 1,200, and so what they've kind of done is added another day to the cost of what the full pass is. So you have to go more than
times?
12 times a year for it to start
Balancing
compressing
out.
in value. I mean, then it averages out. But if you go a lot, because that's what I did, and then again, sometimes you would go for a half day, but also you got to go. It's really just for the people that go every day or every month. But I mean, there are some good things. They have not mentioned any connection to FastPass. See, the old annual pass also included the digital fast passes. And
I thought I heard rumor that they're going to be using a premier access system like Disney Plus.
That the other Avengers ride that's coming whenever, that will be a ticketed attraction.
And what only concerns me about that is they really need to up their Wi-Fi then at the park because so many if they're going to having everybody using their phones to be the core means of getting on rides, they got to have better servers because it's so frustrating to be there and not be able to connect to the Disney Wi-Fi because there's so many people there. So there still is some work. So honestly, for me, I'm not getting a pass this year for multiple reasons, but I want to see it shake out. I currently have a Universal Studios pass, gold pass that I got for $250. That includes unlimited parking.
Shots fired.
So I'm just saying, this year is going to be Universal year. Super Mario Land should open next year. There's a lot of good stuff, but I do want to see. I mean, I miss it, and I might go for a single day if like some special event is going on, but. I want to wait and see how this pass really shakes out, but it's really not that different from the old one. But they had to do something different because their big problem is that most of the people that go to Disneyland during the whole year are Southern California residents, but they're high paying. Their whales are the foreign tourists that come during the summer and spend money on the hotels.
Yeah,
the ones that spend the most money.
Look at the genie that you let out of the bottle.
I know.
Well, that's why I said
as a new somewhat Orange County resident, I'm like right on the line. Actually, my new job is actually like 10 minutes from Disneyland. I am excited about possibly getting a pass and having more Disney access, but it's a little bit of
exactly the point. Like for the people that were close, it's so easy to go over, and then you'll want to. Maybe get that 1,400 because if you get the lower passes and you're like, let's go to Disneyland, and then you're like, oh, parking's $25. That parking being $25 every time, or drop it down to 15, $12.50. That's a little better, but that just eats at the morale of wanting to go so much.
It eats back at for sure.
I say we gotta be charging for this information, guys. This is soapbox talks right here. Like
Disney hacks with Clarke.
Yes,
I've talked with a few people about this week.
This will be a new segment on Soapbox from now on. Is Disney hacks with Clarke. But I think we should go back to talking about like the Marvel-ish.
Yes,
the Marvel-ish.
Switching over to Marvel hacks with Clarke.
Yeah, go for it.
Alrighty, it's some news time. A little bit of a slow news week, but I got some good stuff that I think will pique everyone's fancy. First and foremost, the Runaways has been canceled by Marvel Comics.
What does that mean?
It means that their next issue is it for the immediate future. I don't have the specifics of the exact final number, but no, I thought that was a kind of More close to home, I remember Dennis buying me the Marvel's Runaway little trade paperback.
Yeah,
We were just
Back
talking
in the
about that
day.
earlier.
Mhm.
yeah. I wouldn't mourn this
he
too
wouldn't.
much because
It's going on hiatus.
He wouldn't.
no, yeah, no, because I'm just saying, like, in general, Marvel comics, they get canceled all the time, and then they come back, like, you know,
That's fair.
they just try to bring them. They just try to like sunset them for a little while, so that
Yeah.
there's a demand that builds up, and then they bring them back for some event later and stuff like that. So
Stunning number one reissue.
there's too much value in all these characters, so they
Or-
don't.
You got to put them on ice, right, before you bring them back.
There will be absolutely no demand, and they'll bring him back anyway.
That's fair too. That's fair. But the point is, they will bring them back.
Fair.
Yes.
Fair point.
Runaways will return.
But I'm glad that this touched you in a special way, though.
Well, thought that would kill a little bit more time, but
we can
moving
make it.
on to
Wait,
to the
wait,
next bit of
wait.
news.
I do have something, because I don't know if you added it to this news, but on a related note, did you catch the trailer for Why the Last Man?
Yes, I did. Did any of you guys?
Was that included in your news?
That was not included in the news, but it
Oh.
is as you said, related, right? Both Brian K. Vaughan.
Both written by Brian K. Vaughan. Yes. If anybody's never read Why the Last Man, highly recommend it. It's a great story. It's only 10 volumes, so like 10 little trade paperbacks. That's kind of one of the reasons I liked it, because it has a start and an end. A lot of comics just like to go forever and ever, and then
that show has been like in development hell for years. Like I totally forgot they were making it. And yeah, we got that trailer
As someone who I've heard of the comic, but I've never read it, and so that trailer was really my first introduction to the world, and I got excited. It looks really good.
It's a cool show, or I mean, it's a cool story. So I'm excited to see it. It suits the a TV format.
It's very
really well.
It's kind of somehow looped around to be very topical, I feel like. In an interesting
yeah.
sense.
In fairness, it's been a while since I read it. I just remember really enjoying it when I did read it. But yeah,
okay.
But there you go. I filled the time for you right there.
Up next, we got a new trailer for Sony's most anticipated film coming out later this year. Everyone's favorite, Venom. Let There Be Carnage. We got the second trailer out this week. A little bit more story backgrounds, some more shots of the Red symbiote himself. What were you guys thinking? Any excitement? Still the same?
I like that they clearly delineated that the red color is different from the other ones. Like, oh crap, it's a red one.
He's a red
and
one.
While this isn't, they kind of did that for the movies, because the comics are different. Like the reason why Carnage is special in the comics is different from that. It's not just the color. It's how he was born and on Earth.
From the trailer, it kind of implies that Cletus bites Eddie,
right?
And that's how he gets Carnage, which I don't know.
Which they had to change because Eddie and Cletus were never in a cell together like they were in the comics. So they don't have the same origin. But it's just, Dennis and I were talking about this or during the week. It's just a little weird seeing Carnage as the second other symbiote, because he was always the first in the comics, the first new one. The first other than Venom.
Yeah.
Also, wasn't Riot red in the first movie?
No, he's blue.
He was tingish. Yeah.
Oh, was he blue?
The other one, Scream, was yellowish, right?
Yeah. Frank, what was your take on that trailer?
It looks like they're leaning too much into the comedy, in my opinion. I wish they would kind of, I don't know, go with more of the horror, but yeah, that's whatever.
I think this message was for Clarke. I'm not sure if it was about Disney parks or if it was about Venom.
That was about Disney.
Don't get him started.
I mean, it looks like the movie is going to be an entire lobster tank, which might not be bad. It just doesn't look like it'll be like as horrendous, as horrific as I want
There was
carnage.
What do you mean when you say it's going to be an entire lobster tank? By the way, I'm not
I
sure
actually know what I agree with Frank, and this is
I don't know the reference.
You don't remember the
really?
lobster
the
tank?
lobster
in
tank
Venom?
joke in the
in
first,
the first
movie.
movie. Like he
When he
hops in the
climbs
lobster
into the
tank?
lobster tank
Yeah, he sits in
because
there and then he starts
he's
punching.
hot,
Yeah.
and so he has to cool off, and he climbs into the lobster tank and starts. Did you sleep during that part?
The truth
Probably.
comes
I
out.
don't remember.
Did you
Okay.
guys
I
catch
didn't sleep
the?
through that movie. I didn't sleep through it, but I don't. I've seen it once ever in
Yes.
all my life.
But
Same here.
I get what you mean, Frank. Yeah, that
the lobster tank really stood out
Yeah.
to me as like one of the funniest scenes in the movie because it was just so absurd.
Just hit a nerve with Frank.
Yeah, I know. So it was great.
Spider-Man dancing in the street.
It touched me in the right places, like Runaways with You. It's certainly. I could show you on the symbiote where it touched me. There somewhere.
But I'm with you. I'm a little worried that since the comedy was one of the things that people liked, that they might go overboard on the comedy.
Mhm.
And I did like it. It is one of the things that's funny.
Yeah.
But if he's cracking jokes every single situation,
when he goes into the MCU, he's gonna have to crack jokes with Spider-Man. So
yeah. But Spider-Man is known for his jokes. Venom wasn't.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Green Lantern movie that never was, that was going to be with Jack Black. It's you know what I mean? Like it just completely misses the point of what the Green Lantern was supposed to be. Would it have been a funny movie? Yes. Would it have been appropriate to Green Lantern? The tone of Green Lantern.
The Green Hornet with Seth Rogen. Same idea.
Kinda, but I like that one because he tried to take it seriously mostly. You know what I mean? But I think that's what's happening with Venom is it's just like you said, Clarke, like the comedy resonated, and so they're going to lean into it more.
It's like the Fantastic Four movies, not the original ones, but the ones from the 2000s. It has that same bar. I feel like that same tone. Little cheese to it.
I will say I've never I read some Venom, but I never found it to be a funny character in the comics. No. So it was weird to me. But I don't like Venom in general, so I don't like if they're gonna butcher a character, it's rather do one I don't like. That's fine, But I do understand that there are a lot of Venom fans out there that should be upset about the way this is going.
I'm excited for Woody Harrelson. I want to see how crazy he gets. So that's one of the pluses.
I like that they fixed his stupid hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did look like they brought him in for a minute. for 20 minutes.
Well, those curls did not work.
Yeah.
He's got crazy red hair in comics, but the curls did not work.
Yeah.
All right. And that's
what else?
That was pretty much it. I mean, there's some other little MCU rumors here and there, but I think the next piece of news that Dennis has for us is a little update to our big boy Galactus here with your your curves and charts that you're doing for him. How we're looking?
I've been doing charts. What's been fun about the charts is I keep getting people showing up to I get a lot of people chiming in on this daily, and that's why I keep doing it because it's fun. I share this on Instagram, I share this on Facebook, and I've got people giving their own little
Robin Hood for Galactus.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, no, I just put together a little something to track the progress of it every day. I think we got 23 days left to go in this campaign. It's supposed to hit 14,000. I'm currently tracking it to hit 12,200 by the end of the thing. That goes up every day as it increases. But the reality is we just we're not getting. I say we because I am invested in this. I do care. I want to see this succeed. I just don't think it will succeed in the time frame. That doesn't mean it won't happen. I think Hasbro is very intent on making this thing, and I think what's going to happen is it's going to be similar to Unicron that they did last year that actually did not fulfill.
Oh, it did. I didn't know that.
It did not meet its deadline with the number of backers that they needed, so they extended it by another like month or 2 months, something like that. And then they ended up hitting all their goals. Yeah, they've had 2 HasLabs so far that have failed. One was Cookie Monster. It was a life-size Cookie Monster. That one failed horribly, and they didn't bother to do anything about that. But then Unicron, I think they had put so much work into already making a sample version of it. They're just like, we're making this regardless.
The Rancor up right now as well, or is that after this?
Not yet, because I think what happened was the rumors for that really stretch people's wallets. Like just hearing about the possibility of a Rancor coming soon. Like the other thing that's hurting this project is we still haven't gotten the Sentinels from last year. The Sentinels that we paid for a year ago, we still haven't seen, so we don't know the quality of the product yet. And so to ask people,
you haven't even seen the Razor's Crest. I mean, granted, they're different properties, but still same company, right?
I'm saying there's only been 2 Marvel, HasLabs ever, and neither one is actually a tangible thing that people can hold on to and stuff. But they are starting to reveal, incentives. So they did show off a new one this week. And it's crazy because they showed off the incentive for if they hit 16,000. And I'm like, bro, you guys haven't even come close to hitting 14,000. But you can show it off in the slide if you want. I don't know. I don't know if this makes people excited.
How much are they asking for it?
$400, and they need 14,000 backers.
That's not with tax too, right? Tax brings it up almost to like 500, right?
Something like that, yeah. So they revealed if they get to 16,000, they will throw in a Frankie Ray, which has never been made as a Marvel Legend. And then you can see they have a little silhouette here of a guy on a board. I'm not sure who that's going to be.
How many characters have boards?
I'm thinking that's Beta Ray Bill. I'm not sure. Frank, you got any ideas?
Either Mephisto or he looks like Star-Lord.
I think it's that really popular Marvel Beach Boys crossover.
I think it's a surfing Pikachu.
Yeah, but yeah, that's
Surfachu.
But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram or find us on Facebook, and I'm just chatting about that every day. I updated I download all the data at 9:00, and then I usually have something up by around 10:00 in the morning. But yeah, that's all. It's a really slow week, but I should point out that they are seemingly getting desperate because so far they've had 2 live streams to try and promote this thing. They have a 3rd one scheduled already for this coming Monday.
Like, you want some of this?
Usually they do 1 live stream a month. This is going to be the 3rd live stream in 23 days.
Do you think the lack of a Comic-Con hurt this a bit? Because I mean, granted, it had if I remember correctly,
there was no Comic-Con last year.
Fair, but I remember seeing the Unicron like on display before, and I think what was it, the Scarif thing?
Well, like in fairness, the Unicron failed to meet its deadline.
True.
Yeah. So I think it just comes down to a lot of factors like space, price, the economics of a post-pandemic world, and like the desirability of it's one thing to say, here's a Sentinel, buy as many as you like, and people's brains are going to explode because how many is enough? But I mean, honestly, Galactus, who needs more than one, right? Like, do you need? If you even need one, do you need more than one ever? And so they're asking. The Sentinel asked for 6,000 backers last year. 6,000. That's it. That's all they needed to back it, and it was $350. Galactus 14,000 backers is what they need, and it's $400. So it's all busted. I don't know the logic behind it, but obviously it's a business decision to make sure that they're making profit. So whatever. I say whatever.
Whatever, indeed.
Yeah. We can move on. We can move on. We do have comics for the week, right?
Yeah, let's close up the news as always with our comics of the week.
Cool. Does that hurt you guys that the music cuts off right there? Does that? Is it?
Yeah.
It's a little. It's a
Something
little.
to look into.
Yeah, I'll look into that. I'll clean that up.
Do a little favor.
I was just realizing. I was like, that is kind of jarring. Frank,
Yo,
Frank's
I was
been a
very.
little-
I was. What was that, Ricky?
I'll say Frank's been a little quiet today. We're getting to his question.
Well,
let's do it.
I was
Are we-
trying to, and then
He was
and
trying
then-
to, but then you got
No.
interrupted.
On Brad.
I'll just let Ricky do whatever he was gonna say.
That was it.
Hey Frank. I very much appreciate that you helped us out by coming up with the question of the week. It's a little nerd appetizer for us before we get ready to talk about the Suicide Squad in depth. Do you want to share the question with us?
Yeah, if you put it on the screen. I don't remember how you guys bastardized my question, my beautiful words, my correctly chosen words. But at what point does a villain become irredeemable? For some
Clarke?
people, it could be killing one baby. For some people, it could be killing two babies.
Clarke, do you need some time to?
What's your
think about
baby
this
number,
one?
Clark?
No,
as our guest.
I've been thinking about it since you told me a little earlier, and I did come up with an answer.
4 babies.
That does not have to do with the number of babies.
Oh, okay.
Really, this is fascinating. We need
yeah.
to take notes here.
Yeah.
Simple. It has to do with my thing is the point becomes irredeemable when they kill and murder the innocents, especially the innocents for pleasure, and especially when they get more pleasure from killing innocents. So, like for example, in war we drop bombs that kills babies and everything and stuff, and you could say, is that irredeemable? We have war crimes and stuff like that.
You're saying like upwards of 4 babies?
There's a lot of babies. That's why I didn't want to do it just based on body count, but on motive. Because let's say you have a character like Killer Croc or King Shark or something, where they're half animal and they have animal instincts to eat. Like, we could discuss Weasel. How much cognitive ability does Weasel have, even though he's defined by killing children? Is he irredeemable because he doesn't have cognitive ability, or is he irredeemable because of the baby count? And I think it's because of why. What is the reason for it? So the Joker, who gets pleasure, who derives pleasure and strives for the chaos, that is more irredeemable than just somebody who does it. Versus then there's the cold hard assassin, which is just like, well, how much do you pay me?
Well, what about
Sounds like Clark's cool with war crimes.
I was just
No, I'm just saying they're different. You guys said irredeemable.
no, but King Shark, someone like King Shark and Killer Croc, because they do have genes of animals, aren't really seeking redemption. Someone like the Lizard and Spider-Man, he's not seeking any kind of redemption. But I'm talking about someone like Darth Vader, who was seeking redemption at the end, or something along those lines. Maybe he wasn't seeking it, but
Well, shit. I mean, just go recent as Wanda in WandaVision. Like, she held a town and children hostage, and I think we were pretty in somewhat of agreement that was kind of like not okay. And we still haven't seen the repercussions of that fully. But
hot takes on Den Excelsior right here.
I don't know the answer. Like, when Dennis presented the question, I immediately went to.
That wasn't my question. That was Frank.
When Frank presented the question, it was it's from the Aziz Ansari bit where he talks about, like, it's literally the baby number, like how many babies is okay, like what's the number, because there is a number, like, like subconsciously that you're okay with. But I like Clark's kind of point in the pleasure aspect of it. If they're just enjoying the killing, then I don't think they're redeemable, but are they at the same time seeking to be redeemed?
Yeah, I mean, but what if at the end of it they decide they're all like, "Oh man, I've killed my fair share of babies today. I'm ready to be redeemed." Kind of like almost like Catholicism, where you can just seek redemption, and they'll be like,
Just dip
"Okay,
out.
okay, you killed 20 babies, 1,000 Hail Marys to our fathers, and punch yourself in the face like as hard as you can." Like, what's the redemption? So they also have to be
Like you're canceling out the equation.
yeah. Like Joker's not seeking any kind of redemption, and if he were, it would automatically raise everyone's flags up because they'd be like, "Why is the Joker seeking redemption? He's obviously doing something."
So I do have a question on the Joker topic. Harley Quinn's Joker. Spoilers. I mean, it's the season 2 has been over for like a year now, but there is a part where he suffers from amnesia, and he has a chance to have a completely renewed life, right? Yeah. And he gets to do that all over again. He gets to do his life free of the sins of everything he's done, and he turns out to be a really good man. But as soon as he becomes aware of his forgotten past, his memories and stuff, he's actually conflicted, right? Because he built something meaningful and new, and he experiences that he's never had before, in theory. Is he irredeemable just because of all the pleasure that he did once derive from the actions he did, if he found a new way to live life, And so I did like where Clarke was going with that, but I've always thought that really it's the scope and the scale of the story that determines the irredeemability of somebody. You want to bring up Darth Vader, which I think is a great one, right? But like, if you think about it, like in the scope of the prequels, in just the prequels alone, they paint that character as an irredeemable character, right? It's meant to be the original trilogy that somehow after much time has passed, right? He's like 20 some years has passed. He's lived a life that he's not happy with anymore, and now he's starting to question those things, right? So the young Anakin is depicted as irredeemable in the scope of that story, and because of the horrible things he does. And by the way, I don't believe that killing babies is the only line here. No,
it's got, you got to look at Anakin's baby killing meter, and probably not too high. Maybe a couple Tusken Raiders. But
the younglings.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the younglings though. Killing toddlers, that's actually like anti-babies. That's like killing negative amounts of babies, because toddlers are annoying. They scream and they're irrational.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, but like if you look at the scope of John Wick, for example, I don't want to hear any story about the guys that killed John Wick's puppy finding a way to be redeemed. No, because in that very small story, right, which is where it starts, it's like those guys absolutely deserve death, but just for killing the guy's puppy, But like as the story keeps going and going, I'm like, okay, this is getting really big, and is this still about the puppy? Is it like we're on 3 movies deep? Is it still about the puppy, or is it not about the puppy? I'm not even sure anymore. But yeah, I think the scale and the scope of the story being told is what determines, how a character can be redeemed, or whether or not they should be redeemed. I like that question though. What do you guys
Agreed.
think? Ricky, what's your baby level? Like 8 babies, maybe?
8 babies is what he said.
It's good. It's less than 5.
What's that old joke? How do you get a baby out of a blender? Doritos.
Oh my god.
Kind of like that. Like, so am I now irredeemable joke wise because I joked about a baby in a blender?
You've been irredeemable for a long time, Frank, but it's okay.
It's not the baby joke stuff.
Your job is to be the irredeemable one on the show, so it's all right. It's all right.
Well, are there controversial? No, I won't go there. I would say if there's real life people who are irredeemable that you found redeemable, but I think that'll lead us into not comics territory. So.
I got some hot takes on that actually.
Let's not do that.
Soapbox today.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you want soapbox, you can do.
Yeah, you already dipped out. Yeah, if you want to come back.
the inventor of the beetle. Definitely
Oh my God,
not redeemable.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah,
to do
that
the
was an
thing?
interesting conversation.
Mhm.
I think we're ready to do the thing because Frank is hilarious. Do it. Okay, it's time for us to put the spotlight on the Suicide Squad. I'm excited about this one. Everybody knows what's behind this one is James Gunn temporarily got fired from Marvel back in the day for some irredeemable things, but then he was redeemed later. But in the interim, Warner Brothers said, "Hey, man, we weren't very happy with this Suicide Squad that David Ayer made for us. Do you want to try?" And he's like, "Hey, I kind of love doing stories with really obscure characters and how they can prove their worth and stuff like that." So that's
It
what
was
he
really
went and
like a
did,
perfect
and
storm situation for him.
Yeah.
it really
Like-
was, yeah.
Mhm.
And so years later, we finally have the finished product, and it's the Suicide Squad. And I just wanted to I know I usually try and write some recap and stuff, and the thing that I was having a problem with when I was trying to do it for this one is when we were watching that movie, it is incredibly dense. There's a lot of things that happen. It's not just a get to point A, get to point B kind of thing. There's a lot. There's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of weird things that you just don't expect to see happening. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to do the recap. So I asked these guys, I was like, would you guys like to recap the movie for me? And Clark's like, I can do it in 2 sentences. And so I say, Clarke, go for it. Recap it without spoiling, please.
Secret government organization sends out team of D-list supervillains to tropical island to destroy secret program. The mission was not well prepared, and things go tragically wrong. Surviving team members band together to save the world and each other.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
I guess. I'm not gonna say it's wrong. It's just I feel like it misses a lot. But,
On purpose, because again, I think though, like the twists and turns that you talk about are the things that make the movie enjoyable. They're the type of things that I wouldn't tell someone because I want them to experience it.
That's fair. That's fair. Did you guys have anything to add to that before we totally get into the spoiler zone of that?
No, that's it. I mean, I think in the pop culture zeitgeist, people who are interested in this film have a somewhat idea at this point what the Suicide Squad is. The basic premise of sending villains to go do your dirty work, because you can kind of operate under that ruse, But I think it's more fun going in with just that knowledge, nothing else.
That's fair. Okay, well, I put together something before we get into total spoiler zone. I did put together something for us because we actually did a viewing party last night. We all watched that here on our, a video service that we use right now. And so I just, it's been a while since we've been in theaters together or get to see each other's faces, like reacting to movies and stuff. And so we did that last night. We stayed up late. We watched the whole thing. And I know that we have a habit of as much as we might like something, we do like to get into the weeds as far as the nitpicks go and stuff like that. So before we do all the nitpicks and before we spoil and everything like that, I just wanted to remind us and show all of our audience the actual reactions that we had watching this movie last night. So I'm going to play this for you guys and enjoy.
No, that's Rooker.
No, it's Yondu. It's
He's
Yondu.
looking worse for wear. Is that the Black Canary?
Bird.
Yes, that's a cameo.
Oh,
Shit. Is this it? Is this how it ends?
It's so good.
Whoa!
Oh my god.
Like sounded.
Oh my god. What the hell is that?
Oh shit!
Oh fuck!
Oh.
Oh, John Cena's so good.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh.
Whoops.
Oh no. Oh
Fucking
no.
Oops.
Oh my goodness.
My god.
What was that?
This is a pretty bad
Oh,
strip club.
gosh.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh man. Polka Dot Man. I can't handle him.
I love what they did with Polka Dot Man. All right, well, I didn't want to say it, but I think I'm sold on this Harley.
I laughed at something
I was gonna
Joel
say,
Kinnaman said. I'm shocked.
Oh my god. Holy shit, man. His little buddies. Oh shit.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Aww.
Oh. That was adorable. I'm back. I muted all you guys.
We're back.
Yes. We're all back.
Yes.
We had fun last night.
So
For
I
sure.
think the point of that, the moral of that story is, guys, we like this movie. I think that was a fantastic amount of reactions that I had to pull from. I was doing the double duty because I was actually trying to timestamp those so that I wouldn't have to watch the whole video of us. There are a lot of parts where we're just like intensely silent and just like into the movie, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch us being silent. That's just weird. I got enough of that just a few seconds ago, just now.
Yeah.
But what'd you guys think of that? Was that funny?
It was a trip
That was
down
pretty
memory
good.
lane. I was trying to remember what our reactions were for, because like it's all funny, like how when we react differently to certain scenes, like a lot of the gore I could see like Clarke not really being into, but like you and me are like smiling during it or something like that. And then Ricky had this horrific look. Was that when Blackguard got killed? Oh,
I guess it's spoiler time now.
Yep.
Spoiler time, guys.
Whereas I thought that Polka Dot Man's maternal relationship, mom situation, was hilarious.
Yeah.
And so I know that's when I was laughing heavy.
Yeah. The other funny thing, by the way, was I think we were synced up on the Netflix or the Teleparty app, right? But Ricky couldn't get it synced up with us, so he was actually about half a second ahead of us. So there's a lot of times that Ricky just reacts, and we're just like, and then all of a sudden we react afterwards. So we look really dumb because of that, but it's funny. I appreciated that.
Damn it, Ricky! You made us look dumb.
Yeah, you made us look dumb. You made us look dumb.
Wasn't hard.
Apologies. I mean, I would say this. The thing that Frank just spoiled, it's like really early in the movie, so don't worry too much.
3-4 minutes in the movie. It's pretty in there.
I mean,
but yeah, with that
everybody
said,
going in, expects a chunk of people to die in this movie.
Yes. So with that said, we are here to spoil, answer questions, and just talk about whatever it is we liked or whatever you have, you're curious about. But yeah, this is a spoiler warning from here on out, you guys. If you haven't seen it yet, we totally understand. You can go back, watch the movie, and then come back and check this out. But yeah, we're here to spoil. Blackguard dies. A lot of other people die.
On that point, I rewatched the opening before the show because, as you had mentioned, I had some technical difficulties and watched this movie in not an ideal situation. And the title card for everyone actually comes after they all die, and that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought of that when we were watching it. I chuckled when I saw that the credits started running the title card, going like, "Wow, these people are already dead." And now here's the opening credits with them.
Like their names pop up over their dead bodies,
and that was funny. Yeah.
But in fairness, I think that's one of the greatest things about the movie, though, is right because like that's kind of the whole deal with Task Force X in the comics, right? Is like they're always mining the most C and D and Z list characters to be on Task Force X so that they can actually do the thing that they always promise, right? Which is kill them, let them die,
straight up die.
Yeah. And so, that was something that I felt like David Ayer kind of like just didn't, he failed to really make that
except for
meaningful.
Slipknot.
Yeah. But see, exactly. But Slipknot was just a joke, right?
Yes.
Like it wasn't.
But they were like trying to make them. Well, other question of the week was redeemable characters,
Well, they weren't trying to make all of them redeemable characters in this movie, were they?
No, but in the David
first movie.
in the Ayer movie,
first movie,
almost everyone was seeking.
They all got some
redemption.
backstory.
Right. Right. But that's what I think's funny about this movie is even the ones that were seeking redemption sometimes still died, and you're like, oh, that's awkward. And I think that makes their struggle to be redeemed so much more special, especially for the ones that managed to survive, right? Because because what it means is what your argument is, Ricky, is that Slipknot wasn't trying to be redeemed, so it's okay that he died. You know what I mean? But like, I think that's not fair to. I mean, I don't want to sit here and defend Slipknot for
who the
hour.
fuck? He's like the only one that dies in that movie, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of
El Diablo.
Yeah,
El Diablo, but
yeah.
In his redeeming end moment,
self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, the rest of the team is filled with Rick Flags. Oh my god, the movie's bad now.
Yeah, it's a bad movie. I
will say the one thing that I didn't like about having all the characters die so quickly is that I didn't even get to see what Mongal does.
She takes down helicopters.
Well, she jumped onto the helicopter, held on, and like had some weight, but then she's just going as it's flying around. Like I didn't see her super strength.
That's fair.
For wow, I can't even remember his name.
Javelin.
No, well, Javelin. You never got to see him throw his javelin. And that was just. I mean, I know that's part of the joke, but I just would have liked to see what they actually do. Like at least for TDK, we got to see.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
You want to see the dumb villains do their dumb gimmick.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to see Nathan Fillion separate his arms and go and smack a bunch of bad guys, and it's hilarious. And
slowly.
But I think that James Gunn got that unfulfilled potential. Yeah. There's a comedy to that, right? Is that
that's where Weasel comes in.
Yeah, he put all of these characters that are so unknown that even pretty hardcore DC fans would have to go look some stuff up to be reminded of things, right? Like I had to look up Ratcatcher 2 for us, right, Frank? Because I wasn't sure. Actually, I didn't get my answer to that. By the way,
it wasn't even her name, right? She wasn't even.
I called her Ratcatcher 2, right?
Yeah,
no. I'm saying
her character's name is different.
Yes, I couldn't find that Ratcatcher 2 when I was Googling. I found a bio for her from the DCE universe wiki. You know what I mean? It's a different person, I believe. So that they took some liberties with things to make it work. But that was the fun of it, right? Is like we were getting to learn characters, like even King Shark, for example. Like I was letting my wife know that she's going to watch this movie tomorrow, and I let her know, hey, he's a different King Shark than the one we've seen before in other things. But it's fine because I kind of like that every time I see him, he gets reinterpreted in a new fun way. Some characters are just so loosely defined that it allows writers the opportunity to try something different with them. And I think that's what you have with this movie is you have so many characters that are just one note or even just footnotes in comic books. You know what I mean? That like they can be anything in this movie, right? They can absolutely be anything.
Yeah, I had no idea who Blackguard was or what he did.
Same. I still don't. I still don't bother to look him up.
He gets freaking blasted in the face is what he does. That's his power.
In regards to King Shark, now I kind of hope that we see King Shark's descendants, if applicable, in Aquaman 2.
Like in fact, Prince Shark and Princess Shark.
Yeah. Fun fact that I have here. James Gunn actually wasn't refused permission to use any character he wanted. However, he purposely chose to use mostly lesser known characters because he wanted to like have the freedom to do stuff that like people aren't going to get angry about, right? Like I don't see a lot of people on Twitter that are like, why did you do that to Blackguard? Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
You ruined Mongal.
You
ruined Mongal. Yeah.
King Shark and Polka Dot Man are probably like the only two villains that I've heard of in the lineup of this movie before this movie came out.
Yeah, Harley Quinn's largely unknown. She's like a really deep
new characters. New characters.
There he is, being the irredeemable one right there.
But let's just take this moment, though, to all acknowledge how absolutely amazing Polka Dot Man is.
Oh, man.
And it's so clear, I mean, that James Gunn is like, all right, I love this character, and I'm going to develop him. And the actor, I'm forgetting his name.
David Deschain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Polka Dot Man
not going to be an Ant-Man.
Is by far one of the highlights of this film.
I think he works because they didn't shy away from the weird of him. He has a virus, interdimensional virus that causes them to throw polka dots. It reminds me of that scene in Iron Man 2 when new Rhodey shows up. It's like, I'm here, deal with it. Like, here's my gimmick.
Yeah,
you can believe it or not, and there you go. Like, they don't linger on it. They don't go super technical with it, and with none of their powers or backstories, they go super technical. With the King Shark, they're like, he's maybe a descendant of some shark gods. Okay, moving on. And that's all you need to know.
Guys, I just learned this one right now because I totally prepared all this stuff beforehand, but didn't read it until now. James Gunn wanted Dave Bautista to play Peacemaker, but Bautista turned it down to play the lead role in Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
Oh, a wise decision. Bautista.
That hurts because John Cena was amazing in this movie. I'm not saying Dave Bautista would have been also amazing in this movie, but like, I can't see anybody but John Cena.
Snyder cut, the one with Cena in the Army of the Dead.
I think The Rock would have worked really well as
Black Adam.
John Cena's character. No, John Cena's character. Also, I'm just going personality wise, not look or anything like that. Like, because he was pretty charming. I think The Rock can pull it off too.
That wrestling.
All right, just on a tertiary. I know, and this will come bigger, but that's what scares me the most about Black Adam. That The Rock has been doing so much. You're exactly right. He's normally an affable guy. How's he going to pull off this villain character and talk about redeemability? This is something that we're going to talk about later when it actually comes out. But I think that's definitely a conversation we're going to have down the road.
That's really valid. He's got to stick to maybe 3 babies tops.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that, he'll.
Well, they're Middle Eastern babies.
Hopefully, we are still in a show by the time Black Adam comes out.
So then 6. So then 6 babies. Okay, perfect.
my god,
That's funny.
I like the
What?
side
Just really quick, running down the list for all four of you guys. Who was your favorite character in this movie?
Cena, Peacemaker.
Yeah,
it's a good one. Clarke, will I think of my answer?
I was almost gonna go, with Polka Dot Man and stuff, but honestly, as we talked about, Harley Quinn. I mean, this version, she pulled off the nuances of a Harley without Joker, didn't even mention, Joker much, like her own psychosis-filled character in such a good way.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that, and she was incredibly entertaining. And so I'm gonna give it up for Harley.
Definitely Sebastian the Rat was my favorite character. No, actually, I did like him, but Ratcatcher was my favorite. I think because she's like the Hawkeye of the team. She's like the kind of the less powered, kind of emotional crutch of the
That
team.
saves everyone in the end.
That's cool that you said that, because James Gunn actually described her as the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually it's a tough one for me, but like I think it's Rick Flag. No, it's not Rick Flag.
Yeah,
it's not.
Rick Flair?
I hate Joel Kinnaman so much. I hate him so much, but he did make me laugh once, so he gets points for that. But I think honestly, King Shark was my favorite character in this movie because he was so. One, it was a range I've never heard from Sylvester Stallone. Like it was a really cool, innocent, dumb character that was still allowed to eat people because he just had to. You forgave him every time he did it because it was hilarious, and like he just obliterated human beings throughout that whole movie, and yet he was adorable. And you couldn't stop staring at that skin. Like he looked so cool. And then like when he goes and befriends a bunch of weird like fish creatures in a pool, and you're like, oh, this guy's a sweetheart. He was the Groot of the movie. You know what I mean? Like he really was.
I do love me the Ron Funches Harley Quinn show, King Shark.
Yeah, and there's nothing,
but
this one takes nothing away from that one.
That take on a King Shark would have been out of place here because one more talking head I think would have been too much for sure.
Exactly.
No, this one fit, and I think it's so strong on all those characters that all of your picks I completely agree with because there's that many good characters that you're going to attach to. Yeah, and then even Idris Elba doing generic. Don't care assassin guy that clearly has something.
He was good.
He was good. That's the thing. He didn't really bring something extra. I mean, but he was good and still really enjoyable. Like everybody in that you like the characters, even the bus driver.
I mean, you saw in the video Milton. His name was Milton.
Yes,
Milton.
I mean, I called that guy out as soon as I saw him. What is this guy doing here?
What's
with
he
these
doing
people,
there?
Yeah. But no, I think it is a testament to that how different a movie can be and look and feel when you swap the director and the writer for somebody else. Because dude, I have hated Joel Kinnaman in everything I've ever watched him in ever. I just think he sucks the life out of everything that I watch him in.
He's your Taylor Kitsch.
Dude, do not badmouth Taylor Kitsch. That is Big Tim Riggins right there, all right? You better watch it.
Also John Carter of Mars, but
yeah.
Oh my god.
But seriously though, Joel Kinnaman, like I didn't hate him in this movie. Like I did want him dead. I did cheer for him.
He had a good arc.
By the way, I did have that clip in there of me cheering for him when he died, but I cut it out because I was like, I can make this a non-spoiler version of this, and it's fun. There was we were hilarious because there are some times where we were so shocked by the thing on the screen that we literally repeated the thing that happened on the screen after we saw it because it was so satisfying or shocking to us, and that amused me. I cut all of those moments out of the thing. But yeah, Joel Kinnaman was entertaining to me, and like for anybody listening or watching that knows me, that is a huge statement for me to make. Like he was entertaining, and I almost felt something when he died. Other than joy.
This is the first R movie in the DCEU, right? Like, did that?
No, Birds of Prey.
No, Birds of Prey was R.
I think it was.
Yeah. Plus all their cuts. I mean, they had an R-rated cut of Batman v Superman. R-rated cut of.
Yeah, that's true.
Snyder Cut was R. That's fair. Snyder Cut was R.
Yeah.
Did the R rating help the Suicide Squad? Like, how about that?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it absolutely did.
Oh wait, the Joker was R, wasn't it, or was it PG?
Yeah, Joker was.
No, Joker was R.
But that's also not in the DCEU. Yeah, that's not in the DCEU.
Oh, yet that we waka waka. We can't
until the Flash fixes that, right?
Yeah.
He just picks him up and
ever gets
carries him over.
Yeah, he's just like, you're coming with us.
You're coming to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And then he kicks Cassandra Cain from Birds of Prey. No, he's all, no, you stay in this universe.
Yes, Birds of Prey was rated R.
I just looked it up.
Yeah. Well, careful, Ricky, because of your Mac. You know, we don't want to stress your computer.
I don't want to blow it up. Well, how about this? Is this your number one in the DCEU? Like, I feel like everyone's having a pretty positive take on this movie.
No, I wouldn't give him my number one, but it was definitely entertaining, I think.
Huh. Yeah, and see, I think that's the weird part, and that's part of why I wanted to start with that video, because like I think I was surprised at how much I didn't love this like I thought I would, you know, because like I generally love everything James Gunn does, and it should be noted that he did entertain the crap out of us last night, but I still came away not really like moved by anything that happened in that movie. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like, I honestly think I felt more watching Shazam. Like Shazam made me feel in a lot of really cool ways. Like I felt sadness, I felt joy, I felt, you know, like I really cared when bad things happened to the characters in that movie. In this, it was meant to make me laugh, right? When bad things happen to anybody in the movie,
I think
for the most part.
In terms of feels, I think the Joker made me feel more. And it's not that it made me feel like a big range of emotions, but it made me really feel the despair of the situation and the city.
Right. But if we're excluding the Joker, because technically right now it's not in the DCEU, is this your favorite DCEU movie?
Nah, I still wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of comedy, I really enjoyed Batman v Superman. I think that movie was hilarious. And I got so many laughs from that. And just thinking about it right now, it just makes me laugh. Like the red capes are coming. And like he shoves a Jolly Rancher in that guy's mouth. That's hilarious. Yeah,
and then there's the Wonder Woman movies have a lot of charm to them too, you know.
Yeah,
they have a lot.
I don't think they stick the landing in.
They're racking up their numbers for sure. But it's up there with Shazam.
I think they have a lot of heart. The Wonder Woman movies. I just don't think the endings do anything. I think Shazam. I think you're right, Dennis. I think Shazam, pound for pound, like in the DCEU movies, I think Shazam's probably the better one.
Well, I think this has a lot of the same issues as Shazam. They're like the middle of Shazam's a little rough, a little dull.
So? I don't think it's dull at all. I think if anything, it's nightmare fuel. I think.
It's a scary movie.
Yeah.
For a few minutes,
I feel like the story in the movie slows down a bit in the middle of that movie for sure. Like after he's kind of figuring out his powers, and same with this one. Like,
sorry.
Oh, I thought like the strip club part of this movie, I think definitely slows it down. I don't know how I would have reworked it, but for me that was like a low point. That middle, you know, you come off a big high at the intro to have that such a big dip. I felt was kind of a little bit jarring.
That's interesting though, because that's like a 3 minute section of the movie or something like that. You know,
but just the whole middle in general, like I think you go a little too long without someone dying.
Well, okay. I will comment because you made that comment last night because we kept going. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this movie is only an hour in and it's already been so dense. So that was from Dennis, and then
that
Ricky
was from Frank.
Oh, that was from Frank.
Yeah,
and then Ricky would be like, I don't know,
Frank.
Somebody hasn't died for a while.
Yeah,
and so you did. In fairness, you absolutely said that last night as we were watching it, and we were marking off the time, and we were like, this still has. 40 minutes, and Frank and I were judging by what clips had been shown in the trailer that we had, which I always do that with movies.
I was just
when they rescue Joel Kinnaman is when that movie slows down.
I was evaluating it based on like, how the hell am I going to write the recap for this show or for this movie? You know, like, and so that's every time Frank would give us the count of where we were in the movie. I'm like, oh my God, so much has happened in this movie. I can't process it. Like it's a very dense movie. And for me, that's why like I could never agree with your statement that it slowed down or it was boring in the middle, because I didn't care that people were dying or not. Like I was being entertained to see Polka Dot Man, like, you know, bumping and grinding with like his mom and a million other moms like in the club. That was priceless, man. And I promise you our reaction to that was in that video because it was too good.
Yeah. I think one thing though,
mustache.
Fake mustache. I think if there's one thing that this does better than Shazam is that it maintains a certain tone throughout the movie. Like it has a really
thank you
tone.
Yes.
Whereas Shazam, it kind of wavers in tone. It goes from like horror. It's not quite sure what it wants to be, but like
no.
I would say the word "kinda" in your statement is being very, very, very nice, very, very generous.
I remember after that movie, I couldn't wait to talk to Dennis about that boardroom scene because all they needed to do was add the blood splatters, and that would have been a hard R. That was terrifying.
I saw children in that movie. They were sitting in the theaters, and they were like, "What
to be
this?
fair." Would the 7 deadly sins not be scary? The manifestation of the 7
I think it was
sins?
correct. No, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah.
That is absolutely fair. Just tonally, if you're going from like, say you and your kid friend going and saving a convenience store in a hilarious way from a robber to, all of a sudden watching this thing that you can only describe as the lust monster just horrifically eating people, no, it's not. It's tonally, it's all over the place.
I feel like the lust monster to be doing other things, but yeah.
But Frank, you're 100% right. The tonally, this movie is consistent all the way through, and I think that is why it didn't hit me hard at any point, right? Because it said from the very beginning, we're gonna be funny. We're going to be silly and we're going to be shocking, right? And we're going to shock you so much that you're kind of going to be numb to it by the end, right?
We got Dong. DCU's first Dong.
Yeah. Yes. I'm glad that you remembered the high points. This is what happens when we don't have a script for how this goes. All right. Ricky's like, we got Dong. We got Dong.
Let me ask you this question. Amanda Waller.
No dong.
Same. No dong on her. Yes. Same as last movie. What were the differences, or in which one do you like better?
I like this one better because this one
for sure.
You know what helped this one is she wasn't answering to a higher power in this one. She was the highest power in this movie. Yeah, and so we didn't have to see her like navigate that really awkward landscape of like, why are we wasting our time in this movie with her?
She wasn't trying to sell her Suicide Squad idea.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I didn't feel like that ever needed to exist in the first movie and this movie proved that, right? This movie proved you don't need to show her selling it. It will sell itself. Exactly, Ricky. You're right. Yeah. I love her in this movie.
You really get a sense. You see her, let loose a bit kind of towards the end when she's
then she finally answers to the higher power of a putter.
Yeah. But when she's losing
Yeah.
control of the situation, it's not like in the first movie, you can kind of bump it to the higher power that she's under versus this one. Like that is, her fuck up at that point,
Right, exactly, because she has no accountability in the first movie because of the hierarchy that they establish. Whereas in this, everybody's accountable to her. And that's why you're like even wondering when the putter gets taken out, like what's going to happen to those people when she wakes up? You know what I mean? Like it's a concern. But I really like that twist in the movie where suddenly the team that's in the office, overseeing the operation, they become a really important part to the movie too, because like every character got to be important in some way if they weren't the butt of a joke where they just die at the beginning,
and especially more because it had the scene that showed her with the ice pack on her head and they were still alive. Remember I made the comment, wow, last movie she killed her whole team. Now she's like in the room and who does she answer to? They took force and then they're in the post credits, which means they're still involved.
Yeah. But I think that also helps. I think that also helps establish her as a more believable character, right?
Yes.
Because she can't just go around killing anybody, right? She has to she's supposed to be the one killing the villains who, are expendable, but like
they're supposed to be justified. Yeah.
You can't kill your exactly. She is technically supposed to be the good guy.
I mean, they don't explain it. But like I would, if they do continue on with Viola Davis and this Amanda Waller, like maybe she let them, she was gonna let them live anyways, like because if word gets out that if you join this, crew and do something good, you're still gonna die, that kind of fucks up that whole plan anyways, her whole Suicide Squad idea.
Yeah,
do you think she'll show up and
word doesn't get out? I would hope word doesn't get out often because of the clandestine nature of their
well, in this situation, there's they show up on TV and whatnot, saving the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she shows up in Peacemaker if that's the kind of thing she wants to do. Like there's still right now a weird bridge that needs to be crossed for a lot of actors to go from doing movie to what is TV. And I know streaming is this weird middle ground that a lot of actors are becoming okay with. So like Disney Plus, like you're getting a lot of A-list actors to go and do stuff on that show. And you're also getting Jeremy Renner. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I like Jeremy Renner. A lot of people don't. I really do.
His ex-wife doesn't. So
I love the Hurt Locker.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Talk about irredeemable characters.
But no,
we're talking about Amber Heard now. Cool.
Yeah.
But in truth, it's still a hard sell for some actors to go and do a serialized TV show, even if it's on a premiere, streaming service. So I'm not mad when one says no right now. Ask me that again in like 4 years when like it's become the main way to get
zeros
all the best
on their contracts certainly help for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, DC just needs to get a few more wins under their belt so they can start offering lots more zeros.
I mean, the Batman shows or the Batman movie in whatever universe it'll live in will have a TV show as well, like a Gotham show.
Yeah,
it's supposed to.
Maybe.
Whatever.
It's planned, but yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get excited about things that have spin-offs before I've seen the thing that they're spinning off of. Like I think that's a normal reaction to that kind of stuff, right? Like,
I mean, I'm excited for more Peacemaker now, for sure.
Now is fine because we just watched the movie.
You saw the thing.
We got this the Costco platter.
I wasn't excited for Peacemaker yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, I will say I did like how that movie, when it ended and we were in the credits, Clarke was like, "Well, I guess Peacemaker is going to be a prequel," and then about 7 minutes later, the longest credits ever. By the way, like those were Disney Plus credits right there, man. Like those were long. Everybody who's concerned about the runtime of that movie, I promise you, it's actually about 10 minutes shorter than what it says. It's just skip ahead.
When they said they were going to imitate Disney, or when they wanted to imitate Disney, they should have went with like the money making or the charm and not the credit length. I think
Yeah.
I wish more people did Pixar style credits where I'm at least entertained while I'm watching the credits, while I'm watching all the words go by. Yeah, it's just a bunch of credits. You can skip to all the way to the end, and you get to see the last scene. And it's hey, Peacemaker's alive. Cool. All right.
It exists.
But like I said, earlier, is that I think the big problem with the movie is that it relies so much on shocks and twists and stuff that like you're numb. And so I was kind of numb to that at the end of the movie. I'm like, okay, cool. I was only slightly happy to see Weasel at the end of the movie too. I'm like, okay, so just you can only do so many resurrections at the end of your movie before they're just not special.
I think the only dull point with his little resurrection, and not so much him coming back, but why are we bringing him back to save the world? Like, well, you just did that. Like, you can't. How many times you got to save the world? Like
a lot. That's what Task Force S does, dude. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, you go from once.
Didn't you watch The Incredibles? Like, what's with you people? I just cleaned this mess up, and now you want me to save it again? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, I think if I had one question, because I really wanted to let this be a loose conversation. I mean, it's pretty clear we like the movie. It had its faults, but would you want to see more of this? Would you want to see more Suicide Squad now? Like after this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I think they need to, if they do another one, you keep Amanda Waller, obviously, but I think you ditch Harley. You don't stick with I don't want to see the same characters again.
Dave, this guy barely learns who Harley Quinn is today, and he wants to already ditch her.
I know you can do the same intro as this one with the people from this movie, I think, and it would work fine. But the part of the fun with the Suicide Squad is the new, the new D-listers that pop up.
I will say, when it comes to the comics, like one of the fun things is kind of always there's always a veteran, right? Like there's always one veteran on the team.
Which usually kind of like Deadshot or Bloodshot. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So I think Harley does serve a good purpose there. If Idris doesn't want to come back, but I think you got to have one vet, and I wouldn't mind it being Harley, because I would like to see Harley actually in a leadership role. That's kind of like the next level of her character, the escalation of it, right? Is let's see how she actually leads, because she had a lot of character growth, in the DC universe, but especially in this movie, she finally, like you guys said, she finally got to be her own person and not talk about the Joker and not, and do things, make decisions for herself, and make decisions based on her mental health and what she knows, her mistakes from the past. She was a pretty well thought out character, man. So I would like to see more of that.
She David Tennant too. So
and yeah, and even though even though it was shown in the trailer, I still really like the scene where they come to rescue her, and she's all emotional, like, "You were coming to rescue me," which is like, I had value to you that you were going to rescue me, and like just seeing that growth, and that that's when she like really falls for the team after that whole. And I actually really enjoyed the whole Latin David Tennant part that I guess we're not going to spoil completely, but that was pure Harley Quinn to me.
I think Frank spoiled enough of it, but I think to your point, Ricky, I do agree. I think everybody else should be new, but here's the trick. If you have to have one carryover, and you kind of have to have at least one person that survives the movie, all the way through the end, I'd rather it be the person that we just know they have no intention of ever killing. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather let's just put her there, so that I don't have to worry about that one character. Like, that's like, you got to give me one safety character. You know what I mean? Like, because at this point, I feel like Viola is even fair game. I watched a lot of scenes of us like really debating whether or not that rat was going to make it. I don't know if the rat was the safety character, but I did love the rat for everything it did for that movie. Yeah, it was fun. Would you want to see, like, where do you want to see this go next? Like, where do you want to see the DCEU go from here?
I'd like to see. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ricky.
What's on deck? What do we got coming up?
Black Adam, right?
Black Adam and Flash.
And Shazam. Or
yeah,
Shazam.
Shazam 2 is in production. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. And Aquaman 2. Aquaman 2 is there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Aquaman 2.
Yes, it started. Yes. It started production. Yeah.
Amber Heard's going to those from beating Johnny Depp for a little bit to make the movie. That's cool.
They have specifically said they are not giving in to fan pressure, and Amber Heard is staying in the role.
Okay, I respect that.
That's
so those are the 4 DCU.
It's some like real Warner Brothers versus Disney mentality.
In production.
Sure.
We got Depp, we got Heard.
Since Ricky didn't answer the question, I think what they should do is focus on like movies like this where it's pretty self-contained. They mentioned Superman, they mentioned a couple others, but I think at the end of the day, it's its own movie, and they focused on making this one movie good. And I think they should focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't make a Marvel-esque universe, please just make just one decent movie,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they should do, like with Aquaman, because that's one of the reasons why Aquaman, the first one, was successful, because it didn't rely on any of the other movies. So just rely on itself. But clearly, The Flash, on the other hand, is their throw everything at it.
Oh, they're going back to the honeypot in that one.
Yeah, I mean, because that's got Michael Keaton, Batman. We already know that's
Tobey Maguire.
It's got Tobey Maguire and
Andrew
Garfield. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we know they're already throwing everything they can at that. So the other ones, Aquaman, I think can survive on its own. Same thing, like Shazam had that moment where you see Superman at the end, but not his head, stuntman Superman, for the post-credit sequence. But that worked. It's where does it go? I don't know, because it doesn't have a goal. It doesn't have a direction. And it still doesn't have a key on which movies exactly are part of this universe. Like that trailer that it showed at the beginning of Suicide Squad, where they're talking about the DC movies, and yet we're looking at it, and not all those movies are in the same universe.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'm okay with that, but I think to your guys' point, like just do one good thing, and if you can tie it to another good thing, go for it. But if you, I think that's where they're
don't sacrifice the movie for world building.
Exactly,
because
like with the new Batman movie.
Yeah.
Let it do its own thing. I think that's okay. Like it doesn't.
I'm actually really looking forward. Oh, I forgot about the Batman. That's the fifth.
But that's its own. I guess as we know it now, it's its own universe, right? Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it. Especially if they follow what we were saying, is that it's going to be the detective Batman. If that's the way it is, I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, we haven't had a detective Batman since Adam West, I think.
Yeah.
I hate that I agree with you, Frank, on that. I hate it. hate it. And yet you are correct.
I was joking, but it's true.
I know. I used to make the argument, well, at least Michael Keaton looked into products, but that was so weak. That's the only little bit of detecting.
He had a little manila folder.
I'm sorry, guys, but Kevin Conroy was the detective.
Okay, yes. If we're going into animated, then you are 100% correct.
We don't count animated. We only count the big boy stuff.
Yeah.
Why doesn't animated count, guys?
Only the adult stuff.
We're about to watch 10 weeks of animated stuff that has been officially counted as MCU canon.
Yeah, but it has
I read that.
doing the voice. Real people are not these cartoons.
Not Dave Bautista. If we're looping it back around,
you're so irredeemable, Frank. He's so irredeemable.
Is Bautista not doing the show?
Apparently, he was never asked. He was never asked. Which is super awkward because he's now doing commercials for Disney Plus to sell the product, to sell Disney Plus. They got him doing the streamer commercials. And you didn't ask him to be in What If.
Is Drax in it? How is?
Yes, Drax is in it. There are images of Drax in the thing. Yes, he is absolutely in it, and he's not playing him. There's a whole Twitter thread of Palm, aka Mantis, asking him, wait, why are you not Drax? And then he responds on Twitter saying, because I wasn't asked. Like,
Maybe he doesn't have a speaking role. Like,
I am Drax.
He just shows up.
No, James Gunn also responded. He was quite shocked. His response to that response was, "What?" That's what James Gunn said on Twitter.
Wow.
It's pretty funny. Yeah. So whatever. I mean,
they know Drax's
they know,
paycheck to fight this Scarlet legal battle. So that's the way you can put it.
Yes.
You're
making it so weird. We were on such a cheerful note, and then Ricky's like, "Let's talk about all the stuff that depresses people."
Yeah.
No. So, anyways, Kevin Conroy's the best, and I don't care if he's animated; he's still great. But we all liked the Suicide Squad, and we're totally fine with it existing as its own movie, right? Like it doesn't. We don't need it to have connective tissue. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I do agree with that entirely from you guys. Like it's I think that's the best way to go about doing this right now is just give us wins. Just give us wins.
And have fun with it. The next Suicide Squad movie, have fun with it. Go crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want to bring up. They've already said James Gunn is doing another movie for DC.
Cool.
It hasn't been said if it's a Suicide Squad sequel, but I mean,
he's sleeping with two women.
What would you guys want from him? Another crack at the Suicide Squad, or let him do something different?
At this point, I trust him pretty much completely to do whatever superhero story he wants.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think. Yeah.
He can tone down. I mean, I think he's in such control now. I think the Guardian
does the ensemble really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does the ensemble well, but like I was saying last night to Frank after you guys left was like, I think I didn't enjoy this as much as Guardians in the way that I thought I would. And what that tells me is, he was trying something different, right? Mm-hmm. Like he pulled the heartstrings. He pulled a lot more heartstrings in Guardians than he did in this one. But that was his creative choice, right? He wasn't trying to pull the heartstrings this time around. He was just trying to tell a fun story that people went away from saying, I had fun. And to know that he has the range as a writer and director to do things that make you feel and to do things that, just plain entertain you.
And he works with the big companies. He works well with them. If they like him, they're going to give him more creative control. They trust him. I like it. Yep. Yeah, I would watch anything he makes.
Do you guys have anything else?
Slither.
I don't know why you single that one out. That one's fine.
What about Brightburn? You didn't like Brightburn?
He did not direct Brightburn.
Everyone says that. Why doesn't everyone yell at me when I say that?
Because you keep bringing it up, and you're wrong.
I like bringing it up, and I will never stop. I know he directed it in my heart.
What else? Do you guys have anything else before we wrap up? Like to mention to let fans know about the Suicide Squad and recommendations, warnings.
Tim Burton did not direct A Night Before Christmas.
Henry Selick did.
That's right.
I would never say that.
Go in it blind.
Yeah.
If you just watched our show, sorry, but tell your friends who aren't yet spoiled to go in and watch it blind. And it's fun.
Have fun.
It's a good. We're in a good place right now. We got Suicide Squad. We got What If coming. We got Shang-Chi next month. Eternals. Good old Venom, and hopefully a Spider-Man movie at some point. Like we're in a good little wave right now. And
I just want to make this clear. I am not going to the theaters to watch Venom. So if you guys need to do a show where you talk about Venom, I'll just bow out. I'll be in the comments on that one.
Okay. So Delta, you'll get Delta for Shang-Chi though.
Yeah.
All right. As long as that's
no, we won't.
I have my priorities. I have my priorities. Anyways, I think we gotta wrap this up. Thank you to Clarke for coming on our show. Feel free to let people know if you got anything going on. If not, just wave and say bye.
No, just you can go to my SoundCloud account, Crane Waves on SoundCloud, and that's where I put my stuff up.
Cool.
Enjoy.
I'll add that link to the description for you. And then also thanks to our patrons for supporting our growth and to our audience for tuning in. If you had fun, I think Frank knows where they can go. We missed you last week, Frank.
Yeah.
Why don't you let people know where they can go?
They can go to the comment section, and from there they can and subscribe and ring that bell, hit that gem, and leave us comments. That helps a lot with our Twitter algorithm, or not Twitter.
Maybe they can go to Patreon.
Our user algorithm or whatever.
Yes. Just read the prompter.
Oh, just read the prompter. They can follow us on patreon.com/DenXmedia.
Way to sell that sector.
Follow us.
And we'll be heading over there briefly, I think, without Frank, right after this show ends, just to chat for a little bit longer about the Suicide Squad and whatever else. Clarke's probably going to talk about the Disney pass for another 45 minutes.
Easy.
Yeah. But we'll be over there right after this. But I think that's it for this show. So thanks for watching or listening to Den Excelsior, and see you next time, true believers. Enough said.
Yes.
Excelsior.